Hi, my name's Tom Westgard. I live just outside of Bloomington, Indiana. I'm offering commentary on House Bill 1424. I'm in support. Today's date is February 10th of 2026. I have my background. The reason I think I have a position to speak on this is that my wife and I have been growing, producing, and selling food under existing law on our property here for just under 10 years. We've grown a variety of fruits and vegetables, as well as chicken, eggs, rabbits, hogs, and sheep. We've tried a variety of things. We have a fairly extensive experience with producing food specifically under the home-based vendor law, which is the existing law. One thing that I'd like to draw your attention to is that when we produce our food, you are buying it from someone who knows everything about how that food was produced, which is not something that a grocery store or restaurant can offer you. I know what parents produced that animal. I know under what condition that animal was born or hatched. I know everything that animal ate through its life, who bought that food, how and when it was fed to that animal, what veterinary care that animal had, how that animal behaved during its lifetime, and then how that animal met its end, who did that, under what conditions, what tools were used, how it was prepared, how it was stored after it was butchered. I know all of these things personally. Me and my wife together, we do it personally. That is a level of traceability that no standard grocery store or restaurant can offer you. So they're often presented as having this safer food system, but in reality, the food that they offer comes through an international system that produces a paper trail of questionable value. We do it ourselves, and we bet our lives on it every day. Everything we produce, we eat. Nobody can offer you that. Do you know? I'll move on. Second thing is, every customer that buys from us, they know my home address, they know my personal cell phone number, they have my email address. They can come here. If there ever were an issue, which there hasn't been, other than one time there were some eggs that were left under a hen too long and so they were watery. Other than that, we've never had any of our customers say that they had any kind of problem. But if they did, they know exactly where to come, they know who's responsible. This level of food safety is something that a standard grocery store cannot possibly compete with. Home-based vendors have the greatest level of accountability that is possible in the food service. In light of that, then, one of the things we've tried, my wife had a pie business. She was selling pies at the Brown County Farmers Market that happens in the parking lot of the Brown County Inn. She was doing quite well. She would have a line of people waiting for her. But then the Brown County Health Department showed up and determined that her pies were savory, not fruit pies. And so, boom, killed the business. Done. She's out. That business is gone. No more pies. Great. Good job, guys. We never had a health complaint. Those pies were baked less than 12 hours before people ate them. But yeah, not good enough for the state of Indiana. That same farmer's market, the same health department came and, I kid you not, shut down a lemonade stand being run by a 10-year-old girl. And I could blame the health department, but realistically, that is what Indiana state law says, that a 10-year-old girl is legally prohibited from running a lemonade stand, and it's the job of the health department to shut it down. We don't need that law. Finally, the last thing I'd like you to consider is that my wife has come down with alpha-gal syndrome, which, although it's still a fairly rare disease, is rapidly growing. It is extremely likely that you have constituents who have alpha-gal syndrome. The basic outline of the disease is that people have an allergic reaction to alpha-galactose, which is present in mammal meat other than primates. So monkeys are technically still on the menu, but pigs, cows, sheep, all the standard mammals that most of us eat, and rabbits, they all have this material in them naturally that some humans become too sensitive to. It can be fatal. People can and do die from an allergic reaction. We're unable to buy almost anything at a grocery store because there are three major things that kill our ability to shop at grocery stores and make it difficult, if not impossible, for everyone with alpha-gal. Number one, if there's any water added to the thing in the grocery store, almost all water that goes through a factory is filtered through a charcoal filter. Those charcoal filters are usually made out of bone char. The bone char is mammal bones, which they have charred and made into a filter. So that water, they think they're cleaning it up by sending it through a filter. No, it collects enough material to cause an allergic reaction. And because water, filtered water, is considered grass, generally regarded as safe, even reading the ingredients list doesn't provide you with the information you need to know, because by federal and state law, you can put this charcoal filtered water into a product without putting it on the label. And if you do add enough water to require it on the label, you don't have to say what it was filtered with. So everything that might have added water, we can't buy at the grocery store. That's 1 out of 3. Number 2, sugar. The same type of charcoal is used as a flow agent in granulated sugar. So anything at the grocery store that has added sugar, or at a restaurant, she can't go to a restaurant anymore. That's completely out. Because this activated charcoal is used as a flow agent in granulated sugar, we can't buy any of that at a grocery store. And again, the charcoal is considered grass, and so it doesn't have to appear on a label. So she's just guessing. If we try a new product, which we do from time to time, she gets sick for a couple days, and then we just don't buy that ever again. And the third thing, which it's like the 3 most common ingredients in food, the other one is flour. Because if it's enriched, the way they add the vitamins to the flour is they take gelatin capsules full of the vitamin material and they throw that into the grinder. It doesn't really add anything nutritionally to the food. It's just a convenient carrying case for the vitamin material that they're putting in the flour. Well, think about what you buy at the grocery store. If you eliminate anything with added water, added sugar, or added enriched flour, there is basically nothing we can buy at the grocery store. What we eat at home is a lot of what we raise, and home cooked from scratch, where we've managed to filter through and figure out a few items that we can buy to cook with. You know, there's one brand of pasta we can buy. There's one brand of chicken that we can buy. We are knocked out. And like I said, this is a growing population of people who basically can't buy healthy food at the grocery store. I have tried to raise pigs and sell them for money. But what you find is that the number of places where I can legally take them to be butchered, because under current law, I'm not allowed to do it here like I am for chickens and rabbits. By the time I spend over an hour to take it to a place that can butcher it, and then I have to drive back a second time to pick it up, then I have to store it, there's no money in it. On top of that, the only customers, because we're not allowed to sell cuts, we can only sell halves or quarters. The only people who can buy it are people who have the money to buy 200 pounds of a quarter animal at a time, and also have enough freezer space to hold it at that time. So basically, you've eliminated anyone who's living in a small apartment. You've eliminated anyone that doesn't have the money to buy a big freezer. You've eliminated vast swaths of the population. So in the end, under current law, there's really no point in raising hogs or beef or sheep, because financially it's not going to work. Now, when you get to the oligarch level of food production, yeah, you can make that work because you have the capital to do that. But for the small producer, current law has killed it. I teed off a little bit more. I guess I have a little more emotion attached to these things than I realized. We urgently need these. Look, there's no record, there's no significant number of home-based vendors producing food that's unsafe. And that's because, frankly, we do it safer than this highly technological food system that is the source of almost everyone's food. Current law kills small businesses. It makes the food less safe. It makes the food more expensive. It takes money out of pockets of people who would like to work at their home and sell food from there. With that in mind, I would very much like it if you would pass HB 1424 and relieve some of these problems. Thank you for your consideration.